welcome to our annual teacher meeting, and thank you for venturing out here on a Saturday morning. We really appreciate that. We may have more teachers join us. We're missing about 9 or 10 teachers, so we'll see. But I'm mindful of everybody's time, so I'll go ahead and get started. So today's agenda is, as you can see, welcome and update, introduction, and then we're going to have a little presentation of biotechnology careers so we can bring you up to speed on what's going on in the biotech landscape. And then you get a break, and then we will go over supplies and orders and kit reservation procedures and some resources, and at the end we will have enough time for you to go over giveaways and raffles. We have a few donations. So it's going to be a packed morning. And then, as you probably saw on the agenda, we have an afternoon workshop for middle school teachers. So it's a full day for us. So welcome back. I hope you've all had a much smoother transition to the new school year than the last few years with the pandemic. Have you seen increase in student enrollment this year? No? All right. So I will start with myself because I'm new to the team. We have a few new members that I will introduce. So my name is Shahira Badran and I'm the site director, and you can access this presentation online, and if you would like you can connect with me on LinkedIn and also read my short bio. I'll keep it very short. I am, like yourself, an educator. I have been in the education business since '97. I'm very old. And I transitioned from high school teaching to full-time college teaching, where I started up a biotech program in Massachusetts. And in high school I taught ABE-biology, and I collaborated with Biogen because we didn't have an Amgen experience program. I was a full-time professor at Bunker Hill Community College, if some of you may know it, right outside Boston. I started up a biotech program for them. I moved here in 2009, and I became an adjunct professor at multiple campuses in the LA area, not out here. So I live in the LA area. And then I transitioned into workforce development. So I worked at LA Valley College for a workforce development training program where we focused a lot on preparing students for careers in biotech and getting them employed upon graduation from the program. So I worked with very diverse student body, but also with adult learners and career transitioners and so on. So multiple. And then I joined the ABE-LA in April. So this is what, the 7th month or 8th month, so I'm relatively new. I'm also a facilitator for anti-bias education programs at the Museum of Tolerance. I don't know if anybody knows the museum in LA. So now I can't unfortunately facilitate because I work full time, so I try to find a way around that. And I love this line of work, although it's very different from biotech, obviously. All right, so this is Samantha Liano, who is our new team member at the Pasadena Bioscience Collaborative. She just joined us in July, and you can learn more about her on our website. And Samantha will, I think, join us later, as far as I know. But in the afternoon, of course, this is Dr. Wu. Everybody knows Dr. Wu. I don't know if I need to introduce her, but she's here and she will introduce herself. And as you know, Dr. Wu has been here since the inception of the program and has been instrumental in growing the program over the years. And she is extremely dedicated, and she has retired and still continues to work with the program. Thank you, Dr. Wu. And then we have Gladys. Where is Gladys? Gladys, here we go. Gladys, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, well, hello, I'm Gladys. I am the lab tech for the Amgen program. I have my BS in microbiology. I also work for Fullerton College full-time as the lab technician for the biology department. If you guys need any help with questions or anything, just let me know. Preferred way to contact me is email. Sometimes I don't get really good reception in this building, and it's terrible in the lab. So if you send me a text or call me, I may not get it until like way later until I step out of the lab. So email email is the best way to contact me.
Thank you, Gladys. And Gladys is a powerhouse, although she doesn't work full-time for the program, but she does a lot. And this is our newest addition to the Fullerton team, Kennedy Doyle, who's not here today. You can also read about her bio on our website. And she has a bachelor's degree in molecular cell biology, and so and she's helping us with the lab and recruitment. And this is Karen. I don't know how many of you know Karen. Everybody knows Karen? Okay, I don't think I need to say much about Karen, but she is like the backbone of the program, and she has been also with it the longest and worked with Marty Ikanda, who started the program. And Karen will also join us later. This is Professor Aurora, who supports our program at our newest distribution site, which is located at LA Mission College. I don't know if you know where that is. It's in Sylmar. This is Mitzi, who works part-time at the LA Mission College distribution site. She is actually a graduate, very recent. She just graduated from the biotech program at LA Mission College itself. And she is a full-time student and supports the program part-time. She also will be here later. This is Luz. Anybody knows Luz? Yes, maybe from PDIs. Luz is our full-time site coordinator in the other county, which is Ventura County. She is at Cal State Channel Islands, and she supports teachers in that community. She'll also join us later. This is Robert, right here, our new full-time site coordinator at LA Trade Tech. Robert, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. Like she mentioned, I'm the new Trade Tech coordinator. I just joined this summer. Before that, I was actually one of you. I was a teacher at a high school. So if you're one of my teachers in my area, please come and introduce yourself. I would like to meet you. That way, you know, and if there are any questions, please feel free to come and talk to me. Thank you.
Good. And these are our 6 distribution centers. I'm not sure if you're all familiar with them, but you know, just to give you an overview, just in case you change locations or schools, so you know where they are located. And all this is on our website, and you also have access to this PowerPoint. So don't worry. And we are supported by the program office in the Boston area. And I'll show you here EDC, which is the Education Development Center, and we are managed by the LA Promise Fund. I'm trying to see, oh, here we go. We're managed by the LA Promise Fund, which is a nonprofit education management organization, and the New England BioLabs are also one of our supporters. And of course the Amgen Foundation, obviously, from the name of the program. These are our, these are our numbers after the pandemic, and we're hoping to increase our numbers to go back to pre-pandemic numbers. We're working on that and on increasing our outreach. This is LA Mission College, where we have our most recent distribution center. Is anybody here familiar with LA Mission College? They have a great campus, and they have a biotech program. I'll tell you later on during my presentation about all the biotech programs that are sprouting left and right. Some of them have just been approved and just started. So one of them is at LA Trade Tech. And we also have the new trend of community colleges getting permission to offer bachelor degrees in order to support this trend in growing the biotechnology workforce. All right, so that is the introduction, and then I will hand it over to Professor Wu. I'll let you do that. Thank you.
Hello, so I'm Jo Wu. I know many of you, but not everyone. So anyway, I am as she mentioned, I'm the coordinator here. But unfortunately, I now have moved down to San Diego, so I'm not on campus as often as I used to be. And maybe you saw that, can I announce Gladys? Yeah, Gladys is pregnant. So she's going to be taking a leave of absence in January to April. So Gladys used to be always the one that you contact if you need a last minute correction, you need to pick up reagents, whatever. So please don't bother her January through April. and I will try to come back then to help out more. And then Kennedy also works at school every single day. So Kennedy will probably be the point of contact if you need to come in on regular weekdays. And I'll come in on weekends, okay?
Yeah, and we'll make announcements and make
Okay.
sure everybody knows.
Yeah, but to me, that is the most important thing for Orange County. If you are part of the Fullerton College family here, then that's what we'll have to make sure. Okay, so anyway, this is the ABE-LA website, and in case some of you haven't done the program for a while, we just wanted to kind of remind you of where this is. So it's down here is the website. It's amgenbiotechexperience.net in Los Angeles, and when you go there, you will see this navigation bar, and that's where you're going to find the distribution centers, right? So I'm assuming since you're all returning teachers, you all have worked with a center already, and so you know how to go there. And then I posted career information, and then obviously the workshop information is there as well. So any questions about this website? Okay. Then the other thing that we have, oh, sorry, I forgot to do this, is we have resources for you, and they're found in multiple places, okay? But one of the main places that we put them into is our kit notebook in the kit binder. So every distribution center has their own kit notebook or kit binder. And for us, it's not physically a binder that we check out anymore because we make changes constantly. So it's just a PDF file that you can find on the Google Drive, and you can download it and then take a look, okay? And that's true for all of the centers. They all have their own kit binder. Then under the drive, you also find general teacher resources, and this is where another place that you would go to try to, if you think about, oh, I'm going to start teaching my program, I'm going to do like complete series, then you would just go to the folder that says the complete series.
Middle button.
Sorry. The complete series right here, and you click on it, and then it will give you like the PowerPoints, the teacher tips, the videos, all of that. Okay, so hopefully that will help you. And you can see we try to have all of the different series that we have. So some of you have not been trained yet in colony PCR or precision medicine, and those will be things that we're going to try to implement soon. Okay, okay, and then the next portion, next resource that National Office has been working on is called the Teacher T3, and it's the teacher tips and troubleshooting toolkit. So basically, if you have a trouble and you need some technical support, obviously text us or email us, and we'll try to help you. All the distribution site coordinators will try to help you, but you can also look at this toolkit to see if you want to do a deep dive. Okay, it is a lot of information, so if you just need a quick question, it might be easier to just contact the coordinators. Right. Okay, so the policy for the Amgen LA program now is that we are not aliquoting for you. So that's the official policy. So if you're with all the centers, except Orange County, expect that. You're going to be getting your supplies for one classroom, and then you will need to aliquot for your student stations. Okay. In Orange County, we've always been trying to help the teachers a lot, and so I do try to have students aliquots made for you. So Gladys has been doing that a lot, and we're trying to prepare for when she leaves. But if we don't have enough orders coming in quickly, she won't know how much to make, and it may happen that when you order in March, you just won't get your aliquots to have already prepared, because I can't expect Kennedy to work 20 hours and do everything, right? So anyway, so just be aware that is going to be a big deal in Orange County if that's not what you're used to. Okay, we will try to still make your agarose gels for you, but the aliquoting will be something special, okay? And you guys have been getting special treatment for all these years, so anyway, just appreciate it, really. Now you really understand how much Gladys works and can really appreciate what she does for us, okay? All right. Okay, anyway, so if you're doing aliquoting on your own or with your, a lot of teachers will do this by having a party, so multiple teachers come together in the afternoon and you guys all do it together and it's kind of fun, or you have student assistants that help you after school or in your free period. Okay. And my suggestion though is those students that are going to help you to do aliquots have to be super, super detailed oriented, very, very organized, and really exceptional pipetting skills. Like before I had really good technicians, like I don't let other people touch my DNA and my enzymes. Okay, they can aliquot dyes, but nothing else. Yeah, so. Are we doing this?
It's up to you.
So most of you are returning teachers, right? So do you know who this person is? Who? Marty Akanda. Okay, so he was the main instrumental person who really got the program up to speed, and he started this in the called the Amgen Blue Wallace program. So I think because we're going to be running out of time, I'm going to not show the video, and you guys can watch it online. Okay. All right. So as Sahara mentioned, the ABE has really been growing, and now it has 25 global locations, different countries, and so it's pretty amazing. But what's still amazing is LA handles 25% of the world's teachers in the ABE program. Orange County handles 10%. So we are very, very busy, okay? But we also want you to try to recruit more teachers to come in. At one point, right before COVID, Orange County was handling 8,000 8,000 students per year, and now we're down to 5,500. So we still can go back up. And if you think that the program is valuable for your students, then maybe try to get some of your other teachers at the same school to say, hey, we have this equipment. You could just try the basic labs, right? Okay. So really, teachers are the main reason that we have this program, and you all are the main reason that this program is so successful, because you have to teach the curriculum to your teachers. So I'm assuming that since you come back year after year that you believe in this program and that the materials that you get is high quality and the curriculum that you get is good, right? So really appreciate you all coming and joining in and continuing in the program. And so the Amgen Foundation, who actually sponsors this entire ABE program, I mean, they have millions of dollars that they give away every year. And sometimes they change what projects that they fund. But they decided that Amgen Biotech Experience is one of the main projects that they absolutely want to fund for year and year. Because at one point we were thinking, well, what if we give all this stuff to the teachers and it's good for 5 years, but then there's no more money after that? Then everybody's scrounging again and scrambling. And so, but they really assured that even if they cut down some of the other projects, they're going to keep this one. They actually also want to keep their lab exchange program, which is their online platform for that they've been trying to increase, and then they also sponsored the research scholars. Okay, but they also added some extra things. So with the ABE, we now have volunteer programs. We have scientists who come in to do career panels or come visit your classes. I think Shahir is going to talk about that later. And then we also have these master teacher fellowships. So sometimes I will contact one of you and say, oh, look, I think you really should apply for this because it's really excellent opportunity for you to get a stipend so you can have some free time to actually work on an advanced lesson plan and that you could share with everyone. So if that's something interesting that that you might be considering, and I haven't contacted you, or your site coordinator hasn't contacted you, let them know that you have an idea. Like Jessica, I'm looking at you for this year. Jessica has been getting grants to do environmental science, and so we're talking about a DNA project. Anyway, okay. Okay, so this is the Master Teacher Fellowship that I just talked about, and here are a couple of people that were part of it. So Wendy Wooten, have you all seen her? If you go to visit the Amgen headquarters in Thousand Oaks and go into the lobby, you'll see a huge life-size picture of her because she's been so well, she's been so inspiring to all of us. So anyway, she did this Master Teacher Fellowship, but she also has done so many more. So if you guys happen to be at the California Science Educator Conference, anyone going next month? I'm running a program there, and she's going to be one of my guest speakers. Okay.
And she retired, just so that they know.
Yes, she just retired as a high school teacher, but she will still be involved in educational programs. So, okay, so anyway, as a Master Teacher Fellow, what they do is they actually get together once a month, I believe, online, and because they're teachers from all over the world, and they will then have a round table and they'll talk about, different ideas and bounce off, and basically brainstorming ideas. So when they do that, they also will publish some of their findings. But we also have citizen science getting involved. So anyway, there's lots of things that you can try to get more involved if you're interested. Okay, and then, so anyway, we do have groups that are working on all the different, sections of this whole ABE, because it is a very big program. Right. Okay, so anyway, we are trying to get you to help us. If you're a veteran teacher, if you're veteran teachers, quite often I encourage the veteran teachers to help some of the new teachers, especially if they're in the same local or same school district, and it'll be easier sometimes to just go visit somebody's class and say, oh, this is how you set up now, it makes sense, right? Because when you go to a workshop, it may not be exactly the same way that you run your classroom. So it's nice to see different ways to do this. Right. Okay. Yeah. Do we want to break some?
No, that's
okay.
I think we
Okay.
forgot
To remove that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm leaving the general idea about ABE and going to the nitty-gritty of what we actually need from you in terms of the ordering. So does anybody have any general questions about ABE, the Master Teacher Fellowship, any of the lab exchange? Yes.
Well, not about any of that, but are you guys doing anything for CASE this year?
Yeah, so it won't be an official ABE workshop, yeah.
For what I didn't hear, sorry?
For CASE is the California Science Educators Conference.
Okay.
So, okay, I have to tell you, I retired from faculty position because I needed to move down San Diego with my parents. And so I accepted a consulting job with Mini One company, and so I'm running their workshop.
As far as like networking afterwards and stuff, like you guys did at Pasadena?
Yeah, I don't know that okay, I just finished the programming for the 9 workshops, so I'll look at and see if they can do that and see how many people are coming. Yeah, it was actually quite good last time we did this. Okay, good idea. All right. I just got to get them to fund the money, right? Okay, so anyway, then we're moving on now to actually how to order. And so just reminding you, so because some of you haven't come back for a couple years, I just want to remember there's actually a whole, step-by-step. I would take a picture of this, but of course it's online already. But the main thing is you want to check the schedule. So I'm going to go to this and just show you. So here's our distribution center, and there's Gladys and Kennedy, and then down here you'll see these little blocks, right? So the first thing you want to head to is the supply schedule, and so on here I have a public, so you know exactly which teacher has which kit at what time, and I also have it so that you can see the dates of the reservation, okay? And then some dates are, you can see some slots are 4 weeks, and that's because we have a Thanksgiving week, or anytime we have a little vacation thing, I just give you 4 weeks because it's too complicated to try and figure out, which Saturday you're coming. So anyway, so that's why some people have 4 weeks and some only have 3 weeks. Okay, and so if you are someone new, I think, Laura, have you signed up yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so if Laura, let's say Laura is going to try to sign up for the schedule, she basically has to come look at the schedule and see if, oh, where could she fit, right? Because she has to fit into an empty hole. She can't just go and erase somebody. And somebody did try to do that. You cannot change my form. You guys can only view it. You won't be able to edit because I was afraid people would like cancel somebody else out. Okay, so what you'll do then is then the next thing it says, well, it tells you up there. So you submit a reservation form, and then here, this one tells me that, oh, I am Laura Carroll, I want my kid on such and such dates for 3 weeks, and then, this is my second option, this is my third option. Okay, so that's what that does. All right, and then the third thing, the third thing you would do, you just follow down the line, you would actually then submit the order. So the actual order is to tell me in detail, what lab series you want to do, what materials you already have, and what materials you want to borrow, okay? The reason the supply order form seems so long is because the more information we can get at the beginning, the easier it will be for us on the back end, right? Because otherwise, if Brett sends in his order and says, oh, I want 16 students to do complete series, and my transformation date is blah, blah, blah. It doesn't tell me how many groups, exactly how many classes are you breaking up to? Is it 16 students in one class, or is it in 2 classes? Hopefully it's in 1 class. But anyway, so, and then I know he already has many ones, but does that mean he has incubators? Does he need distilled water? Does he need the centrifuge? I need every single piece of information, because otherwise I have to chase you down. And so it's just better for me to get all the information up front. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I'm sorry if this form seems kind of overwhelming at first, the first time through, but hopefully you understand why we're trying to do it. Okay, the more information. And if you're asking for special requests, that's fine. Just write it in. Tell me exactly what it is. And because I don't always remember, oh, he has his own Carolina biological gel system, and so he needs gel red because he has a UV light. And Diana Y has, oh my gosh, she has BioRad and Ward, and and Brett has many ones. I mean, I remember some of it, but I don't remember everything. So anyway, the more you can tell me, the better. Okay. So that was so this is the first row I just went through. And then Form C is the teacher policies. So absolutely mirror me that. Did you pass that out? Did we pass that out to everyone?
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, because we were supposed to sign in for the photo release and the policy.
Okay. You want me to do it for this one? I have
Okay.
it for I did it for the workshop.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't sign. Okay, so then Form D, so I just went through, check the schedule, complete Form A to reserve, Form D to do your order, Form C for your policies. So again, okay, anyway, I think we have it here that, sorry, I didn't print it here, but if you go to the actual website, it will have it. Okay, so the last 2 things though is there's a Form D and a Form E. So Form D is critical for us in that it is to tell us if you got good lab results. If your entire 3 classes did not get transformation, I want to know why, right? And you should want to know why. And so last year, was it just last year? Yes. Okay, we got transformation, but all the colonies were white. So if you don't tell me right away, then I can't troubleshoot while you still have the kid, right? So luckily one teacher did tell me right away. Then I looked on my schedule and said, okay, Kristen Cruz is going to do this lab. She has the same exact reagents that we sent out. We obviously made a mistake. We forgot the arabinose. And so we went to Kristen's class and then sprayed her. Then we sprayed her arabinose on top of her culture plates. She had already done the transformation that day, but we then sprayed it, and it worked. The cells then turned pink the next day, right?
It was such a cool learning experience because the kids figured out what they thought the problem was, and then to see the next day the bright pink, it was it was almost better than having had it worked right the first time.
Okay, so if that's something you want that's special, we can also.
I mean, no, we don't need that special. It was really cool for the kids to see their hypothesis
Uh-huh.
and then confirmation of that was the problem.
Yeah, and using scientific, critical thinking.
Yeah.
So that's great. So anyway, the whole point is, if you don't tell me till after you return the kit, and then you write me, 2 weeks later, oh, by the way, my stuff didn't work, that doesn't help me. If I know that things didn't work, that means you bring back all of your reagents, refrigerated, frozen like it's supposed to, and I can then troubleshoot. We can do the experiment with exactly the reagents you got, so we can figure out what went wrong, so that we don't make the mistake for the next teacher, right? So it's just like if you order something and there's a bad batch, you call their customer service and say, wait, I need to know, and they will go through all their batches and to see, who else got it. Okay, so please do that for us. The last one. Sorry, this is called Form D. So this is what teachers are filling out after the labs, right? If you can do it right after you finish your labs, that would be ideal. Any kind of time you have technical problems, write emails immediately, okay? But do this one before you return your kit. We have an incentive for you to do this now, okay? Form E is actually for the students. So LAPF is really trying to figure out what kind of student demographics we are serving in the greater LA area. And so we're asking some questions for the students. Okay, so please take a look at the student survey. It'll be up to the teachers to try to encourage your students to do that. And again, there's also gonna be incentive for that to be done, okay. All right, so I went through all of this. The biggest rule is that for every center, you are allowed to borrow the entire equipment kit for 3 weeks per school year, okay? That means one school gets the kit for 3 weeks for the entire school year. So that can be a problem with, do I have ABE-LA here? Oh yes, okay, ABE-LA, as you know, I think I worked with 9 teachers at the school, and sometimes they just can't get nine teachers to work on one equipment kit, right? And so basically we try to look at the schedule and see, kit, if there's openings after most of the teachers have already submitted their orders, then I can try to accommodate and give you, a second kit, all right? So, but just be aware of that. If you were able to go get some grant funding and buy your own equipment, then it's so much easier because you can borrow multiple times, okay? So like Sylvia, I think has come multiple times. I think the record last year was one of our teachers came 4 times. Anyway, okay, don't do that. Okay. I'm just kidding. So for the teachers that have your own equipment, I'm trying to give you all my die sets so that you have it and you don't have to keep coming back and forth, right? So for Orange County, a lot of you I'm talking to today because we're trying to give you die sets.
So may I say just something
Sure,
very quickly before? For you, first of all, nice to meet you. Please reach out to me. I'm going to see if we can try to do something to help out, that maybe a little bit outside the box, because we did get some funding to increase the number of kits we have. I just can't speak to that with confidence right now because Karen oversees this. But just let me know if, and maybe we can, have a little outside the box kind of.
Yeah, they just bought some.
Yeah, we just got some micropipetters and some mini ones.
Mini ones,
Okay,
right? Yeah.
okay, great. Yeah, but we'll see if we can. If we need more, we can accommodate.
So this was to remind me that in Orange County, I usually just put up our mini ones for you to borrow, but at different distribution centers, they may have different types of equipment, okay? So I believe this is Pasadena, so she has a lab, or a supply called Hexagel, so it's 6 gels all combined into one, and it's for her Intro to Biotech series teachers. So anyway, if, and if you happen to be doing colony PCR, or if you're doing precision medicine, I have a different gel box that I try to have you use, because then the gels can run for much longer. Okay, so anyway, we'll try to accommodate that. Okay, oh, Karen just wrote these to remind, I think some of you are coming from Pasadena and LA Trade Tech Center, so again, please look at the distribution center calendars for all the dates, just in case it might be a little bit different. This one is the Pasadena Center, and you can see they're the busiest center, and so they have lots of kids to go out. Okay, so number one rule, you want to get onto the schedule as soon as you can, right? And so if you happen to look at the schedule, go submit your Form A if you haven't done it yet. All right. Okay, any questions about this, the forms that you're doing? Okay. Oh, sorry, I kind of went through it on my own without the slides, but okay. So Form B is filling out the order form, and when you do the order form, what comes on our computer is we generate what is called a supplied spreadsheet. So hopefully, when you come, you will then see, oh, these are all the milliliters or microliters of whatever reagent, and you're going to double check that. Okay. Typically, as site coordinators, when I get the supply order, I will look at it, generate the spreadsheet, and I'll send it right back, and I say, I'm confirming that you are, ordering blah blah blah, and because I want to make sure that you didn't make a mistake, and I understand. Because sometimes I do have teachers who will fill out that they want to do the complete and the abridged for 25 students each. And then I look at the total number of students that they serve, and it's 25. So I know that they misordered, and so that's why I have to go through. Okay. We're asking you, no, maybe not asking, we're requesting that you submit your supply order at least 4 weeks in advance. Okay, and that's because we have to anticipate when we're going to pour agar plates. That's a very, very big deal, and so if you don't give us enough time ahead of time, we may not be able to pour the agar plates for you because it just fell into to the auto weeks or something. Okay, and especially for Orange County, because Gladys is going to be gone, I really need your orders early this year. And don't exaggerate. Just, I know that sometimes you don't always know what your classes will be in the spring. But try to anticipate, what based on whatever they are in the fall, or last year's order. And then you just tell me at the, right beforehand. Oh, I really have, 10 extra students or 10 less students. Okay. I really, really, really try to be respectful of our time. I did have a teacher who ordered for 120 transformation. So think about that. That's 360 agar plates that we had to make, right? And then she didn't do it. But it's not it's not like she even canceled beforehand. She took the plates and then didn't do it. And so then I couldn't even do anything with the plates because I don't know if she stored them properly or whatever, right? That was a lot of work to pour that many extra plates. To think about the expense, the time, and the materials wasted is bad. So please don't do that to us, okay? We want to have an open line of communication. If you've met Gladys and me, we're pretty easy and open. So please just talk to us. If something drastically happens, okay, we know things happen, but don't plan on messing up so bad. Okay. Oh, yes, okay. There's something called, on the form, it will tell you, I know it sounds so weird, but it will tell you, please put in the Arabic number. And that's because if you write 3, THREE, it won't generate the right supplied spreadsheet for me because I have it in the Excel formulas. So, okay. Do not pad the numbers. We already give you 10% extra, okay? So you should usually never run out of anything. Okay. All right. And then, Robert, you guys use this, right? So I think this is for Pierce and Pasadena. They have a little box here that tells you different colors, and they will tell you which, where things are going to be stored, okay? In Orange County, I just do it differently. I just do all the frozen stuff listed, then all the refrigerated, and all the room temperature. So you just look at this, okay? Okay, and let's see, the policy page is here. I think, do we all send it to you already? If not, we will be sending, all the site coordinators will be sending you this, and you are expected to fill this out before you order or during your order or something like that, okay? And the policy is just like before, that you are responsible for taking good care of your equipment kit, just like normal. But we added something this year. Where is the new policy? Is this live? Okay, that one's not live. Anyway, you'll see when you read the policy this year, it will have an extra line that deals with bio-waste because we do not want you to put bleach onto your Petri dishes and then put it into the autoclave bag. Because when we take the whole autoclave materials into the autoclave, that goes to 121 degrees Celsius at high pressure, and the bleach fumes will just be crazy, okay? So do not put bleach into the autoclave bag. You also have to give us all of your bio-waste. Like if I give you 20 Petri dishes to use, and you use 16 of them, you give 16 used autoclave, 16 used dishes into the autoclave bag and 4 unused ones separately, right? But I want everything back because basically the site coordinators are responsible for all the supplies we gave you, and we have to make sure that you didn't just take all your plates and just throw them out in the school trash or your home trash or something, and then we get in trouble. Okay? All right. Robert is at LATTC, and he does scheduling of appointments, pick up and drop off by email, and that's because he's a small site. But in Orange County, Pasadena, and Pierce, we all do Sign Up Genius because we have so many teachers. And so when you go to Sign Up Genius, it will tell you a very specific time. You are supposed to come during that 1-hour time slot that you applied for. And if you don't come during that time, then that means the next teacher will be coming right after you in their time slot. We are going to have to serve that teacher first, okay? So sometimes things happen, and you just have to text us or email us, but just know that, we have to follow whatever's on the schedule first, okay? Gladys, for us, we are now doing, remind me again, Saturday is for pick up the equipment. So the main pickup is always going to be on Saturday, but the drop-off be on Friday afternoons because that's when Kennedy's done with her classes. And then on Tuesdays, we are allocating for, like, if you need to pick up Compensels or whatever, okay? So any other time that you need besides that will not be on the Sign Up Genius. So you'll have to write us directly to ask.
Question. I think I had my students put the spreader in a beaker with bleach. So do you want that just cleaned out? And
so if you cleaned it with bleach for 10 minutes, that means you basically have disinfected the whole, all the bacteria. And so if you're doing that, I would just go wash it and then keep it for yourself for a few days.
I think it's in the instruction that you want it back.
Oh yeah, so rinse off so you can take off the bleach. Don't pour the bleach into the autoclave bag.
Okay.
But if the spreaders have a few drops of bleach, that's no big deal. It's when you pour the whole bleach into the bag,
What
right?
about the pipette tips and the CC tubes and stuff? Because
Yes.
you don't get in the bleach beaker.
Oh, you
want
just
to,
do that?
Yeah,
Oh,
you want
okay.
to
So I
filter
typically,
it out?
no, I don't actually, if I know I'm going to be dumping my beaker into the autoclave bag, I don't put bleach in it. I just mark it by a waste.
Oh,
And then my students all use it, it's dry, I dump that into the autoclave bag. And then I go put bleach into my beaker to wash myself, to keep at school.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so don't have a beaker of bleach, just have a beaker for the pipette tip and the tubes and stuff.
That's what I do because I hate the smell of bleach anyway. And so I just really carefully, the day that we do transformation or lab 6 or whatever labs that have bio waste, I just assume everything that's going to my bio-based speaker is going to be going into the autoclave bag, and then I dump that, and then I wash my beakers with bleach. I don't have to use much bleach, and it's really clean for me to wash too, right? So that's my suggestion.
Can I do maybe like a disposable cup and then have them put it there and then dump it in the bio?
Sure, and you take the whole, yeah, of course.
We just want to make you happy.
Thank you. Yeah. But if you are a teacher like me, we're always scrounging for our stuff. So in the past, I would say, like, if I needed spreaders for another experiment, I would take the spreaders that have been used already with this one, bleach it, and then clean it, and then use it for my other experiments, right? You just throw it in the UV light for 10, 15 minutes. Your goggle UV light. Sorry, I'm very thrifty, right? So if you need any ideas on how to be thrifty, I always have those. Okay. Even for COVID, I sent home every kid. Gladys laughed at me because she had makeup. Every one of my students got a little plastic box with paper clips and 9-volt batteries and alligator clamps, and we made a gel box for every kid to use at home. So, okay. When you come to pick up, we do expect, the reason we allocate 1 hour is just so that you have time to kind of go through the whole checklist and make sure that you got everything that you were supposed to get. I mean, obviously we try to check it, but we're trying to do too many things all at once, and so sometimes we will make a mistake. So it'd be better if you found the mistake right then and there, we corrected right then and there, so that you don't have to go back to your school and a week later, then you're like calling, wait, you forgot one die, how do I get it now? So, okay, so I already told you about the resources. Because of COVID, we made a whole bunch of videos, right? So Karen actually has now shot videos of what it looks like for a student to do the lab. And I actually use that even in my college classes. I have them look at it so they can see the setup. They know exactly how it's supposed to be. Because when they were doing all this stuff at home, I needed them to understand exactly how I would have set up. So my suggestion is try to make use of those videos. Our students are so visually oriented and video oriented that they're more willing to watch those videos now. So we do have a YouTube channel. I hope you guys know. Yes? No? Maybe? All right. So I used to make videos for OC Biotech, Fullerton College Biotech, the mini one, ABE. Anyway, so we're trying to consolidate everything so that it's be easy for you to find. So anyway, please look to that. Okay. If you are doing transformation or lab 6, we have been asking you to come back to pick up those comp cells and the auger plates. Okay, and again, it's mainly because of that one teacher who, made me so mad that, and I'm sorry that, most of you are having to suffer for that, but I also feel like, we actually have the space to store all the auger plates properly for you and for the comp cells. So if you live farther away or it really is going to be super inconvenient for you to come and you want to pick up this stuff early on the first pickup, you make sure you tell us, okay? We're going to look at the records and see how good you've been in terms of doing the labs. And then my suggestion is use those comp cells within 10 days. Okay, 7 days would be even better. So then I tell teachers, do your lab 1, make sure your micropipetting is really, really good. Then go to transformation. And then after that, do your whole gel electrophoresis. Okay, so you can flip the things around if you want to use the comp cells and the auger plates early. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Okay, I'm speaking for my center. I don't know about everybody else's center. So
Most of us are putting the comp cells later. Like they have to schedule separate pickups for that.
Right. Yeah. So that's my suggestion. But I have teachers that come 4 hours to Fullerton.
I'm one of them.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I come from Barstow, man. I'm not coming down the second time.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, that would be my suggestion for her. And then I had another teacher who came from Ridgecrest. And
She beat me on the going further away.
yes, she bought a pluggable freezer for her car. Yeah, for that, yeah.
I wish I could do that. But no, I stick to dry ice in my freezer. Every other day, stuff some dry ice into it.
Yeah, so that is the other alternative, but if we know that, we need to get the dry ice ready for you, and we can't have the cells in a ISO freeze box. So just so you know, these ISO freeze boxes cannot be put into dry ice, okay? And these cost $150 by itself, okay? So I want these back. I'm still chasing a teacher from 5 years ago who kept 3 of them, and I'm really wanting them back. Okay. Anyway, so we do want to see that you had success. We also want to know if there was problems so that we can help you. And also, it's a good learning tool for future teachers. So I don't know if you guys remember doing the troubleshooting during the workshops. Yeah, that's all from teacher photos that are coming in. Okay. Okay, so I already talked about Sign Up Genius, email to get the reservation. And then the biggest thing is the bio waste. Okay, so this has now been written into the new policy because we've had trouble. So just to remind you, basically it's labs 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, those are the labs that need to go into bio waste disposal. That means the autoclave bags. And are you giving red bags or white bags?
I myself have white bags, but I'm supposed to be using reds because we're part of the LA Community College system, and I guess they want red bags.
Okay, yes, so you need to, make sure you follow. We want white bags, and because, anyway, so we want white bags back, and the main thing is don't put any inappropriate things into the bio waste and into the autoclave, okay? So I don't know if you can tell, but there's like food stuff into here. There's a tape dispenser. So don't do, and Karen got a pizza box one time. So don't be doing that because, we as a school, as a college, we have to follow OSHA rules. And the OSHA inspector happened to come in. That would be a huge, huge deal, okay? So, and the other thing is, Karen wrote, there's where it says autoclave bag, that's about 2/3 of the bag. That's about how full you want to pack it, okay? If you do it too much more than that, there's too much stuff. You can't close it properly. When you close it, what did they do here? What did they use? Tape, and they taped it really, really tightly, okay? What's the whole point of autoclave is that steam goes into the bag, and you need that steam to go in. If it's taped really tightly, then we can't work. So sometimes we'll give you the bread, what's it called? Twist ties to do it so that we can unloosen it really quickly if we need to, okay? Does that make sense to everyone? All right. Does anybody have their own autoclave? No.
I keep my little plastic tabs for my bread when I'm done with my bread, and that's what I put mine in my autoclave bag.
Oh, cool, okay.
So all you do is pull that off and put it in.
I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot. In Orange County, I give you a gray plastic bin, and it's marked the bio waste bin. I want all the stuff to come back in that bin. The reason I implement that is I used to go and I used to deliver and pick up from every teacher. And one teacher handed me this bag, and I'm walking to my car, and it's dripping as we go. So we started the plastic bins. Anyway, so there are things that we do that seems maybe silly to you, but there is a reason that we've had bad experience in something, so that's what we do. Okay, so use the plastic bins. In Orange County, because anyway, so my suggestion for Orange County is, or not suggestion, what I like you to do is you take all your auger plates and you're going to sleeve them. I don't want them all just randomly in there. I want them, I can't see if I can find it here. I want them back into the sleeve, okay? The used plates back in the sleeves. You tape it, you stick it in your refrigerator until you're ready to return. Because sometimes you guys do it in the second week, but you don't return until the end of the third week. That means they've been sitting out in the classroom, it's going to start smelling. So you don't want that. So just tape it, stick it. This will be the most efficient way to store them. Okay, and then you can put them, piled, stacked into the plastic bin really easily. So your little autoclave bags will only have tips and spreaders, so it will be very little volume. Does that make sense to everyone? When you throw everything into a large bag, it takes up a lot more space, and you're trying to stuff that into your school refrigerator, it's not going to fit. Okay, so that's my suggestion. Okay, sorry, did I finish everything? Okay, so here's the YouTube channel. We should make an easier one, but anyway, if you just look up ABE-LA on the YouTube, you'll find our channel. And that's where a lot of the videos will be. And then, of course, all your kit binders will have the resources. Okay. All right, so why don't we take a break now, and then we'll go to more of this.
Yeah,
Or
or
is that 30?
it's the, shall I just finish there's only a few slides and then do the presentation after the break, make it easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
All
we
right.
don't have much left.
Oh, we don't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, I didn't realize. So here's the ABE. There's the ABE-LA and there's the ABA National YouTube channels. So when you get this PowerPoint, that all those links are live. There's a lab exchange. How many of you have actually used this?
Great. We're very happy
Okay.
to see that.
Okay. And how many of you love lab exchange? Oh, the same people who use it. Okay. And some. Okay. And who is not so thrilled about lab exchange? I'm just trying to find out why. Okay, so maybe we'll
a lot
talk.
to look at.
Too much to look at?
There's a lot to look at, yeah.
So,
They need differentiation.
Go
I
ahead.
think the big back on since you guys first launched it. I think when you first launched it, it was kind of glitchy and
Yeah.
stuff, and now they're back on set.
Okay, all right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we really strongly, heavily, whatever word you want to say, encourage you all to use Lab Exchange. It's a lifesaver. I couldn't live without Lab Exchange. I've used it across the board in all, with all types of students, outside even ABE, And so I know it can be overwhelming, but we have, for the PDIs now, we integrate a Lab Exchange session prior to the in-person professional development. And so we walk you through this, and then we have courses posted up there. So the courses have the Lab Exchange videos and simulations that go along with the labs that you're going to do, right? And I actually me and the team, we give a whole presentation on Lab Exchange and the benefits of it. Your return of investment from using Lab Exchange is huge. Huge.
So I think,
So,
oh, sorry.
yeah, go.
So I was just saying, just as educators, we look at all the different kinds of sources and pull what we can and what we like. And so I think it's the same thing with Lab Exchange, right? Like you were mentioning differentiation. So eventually find the ones that you like and put it into your own individual course, and then it will always be there for you and your students, so it'll be much easier to get to it. Yeah.
It was my first time doing this in March, April, and I did the lab exchange with the students.
Right.
So the thing that was most helpful were the simulations.
Yes.
They opened up the little box, and then they took the pipette tip, and then they
Yeah.
put it in it. And then they had like check for understanding questions, and that was really helpful too. And whatever is like maybe not worthwhile can be skipped, because maybe the teacher already went over it.
Yes.
So that like the videos can be skipped
Right.
and whatnot. So I plan to still use it just because if they were to do the simulations, the virtual lab, basically it's the lab. They're doing the lab
Yes.
basically virtually.
Yeah, exactly.
They will make less mistakes when they actually do the real lab.
Right. It's like doing air guitar beforehand, right?
Yes.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
So I agree, and that way, if you do your custom class, you can delete, whatever you don't want. So anyway, but I do think that if you don't like Lab Exchange, if you could just shoot me an email or one of us an email about what you don't like. I think they're trying to improve it, and so it would be good to have more feedback about that. And sometimes too, we don't remember at the moment, like today, but when I start using it again, then I remember, oh yeah, okay, my student take this, or okay, for all Mac users, I have to write them a caveat. Find a PC student to work with, because Macs will have more problems, more glitches on the simulations. So
But I just want to point out, we have the complete genetic sequence, genetic engineering sequence as already a packaged course up there. So it has a lot of the resources that you would like to use, and you can pick and choose and then pull them into your own, lesson plan or lesson that you're going to create on Lab Exchange. And I also want to point out that the Lab Exchange presentation that we give prior to attending the workshop is posted in the general resource folder that all teachers have access to, the teacher's general resource folder. So you can just watch this presentation and look at how things are organized, and it's going to help you a lot. And thank you for sharing that you can use it as a pre-lab, but you can also use the click feature, which is the interactive, where they click to get through a whole concept. And so that really helps them visualize these molecular cellular processes beyond what we can show them in the lab or show them in the lecture. And it allows them also to go back and check on their own understanding or go over something multiple times. So it's the power of Lab Exchange is it really helps you bridge those academic gaps, that students, and let students feel empowered, walk away feeling empowered, not overwhelmed. But by what we're trying to teach them. But I don't want to take too much time on Lab Exchange, but
I just wanted to give a little bit of my experience. So I do agree it's a great tool. So I was assigning it for homework, but one thing I didn't realize is, because I would say like it tells me your progress, you need to be at least this percentage before you can even touch anything. But I didn't realize until much later that some kids just click, and it'll still show 100% progress. And so then I would let them get the material because that was my criteria. But I realized they knew nothing. And so just FYI, I think it's better if you do it in class. And certain things you can assign for homework, but just like the main things, I think I would say do it in class because they figured out that you can just click it and it'll show them the progress.
And I'm trying to think, so during COVID, I actually did do this with my college classes, and I typed up all the questions, the check your understanding. I have all of those written in a Kahoot or a Socrative quiz. So I will try to find them, and so that maybe we can make it into a Google quiz that everybody has access to, right? That way you don't have to do it in the Lab Exchange in class. Okay. Oh yeah, question.
Just one more second, I was copying a code there.
Oh sure.
Yeah, it's available. The presentation is available online. So you can access it. You don't have to copy. We don't want you to.
I like to copy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send the link. We'll send the link afterwards, and also there'll be a link for the recording, because he's going to post it on YouTube eventually, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I already mentioned this. So take a picture of the password. It is also on our kit binders, but I just, I like to have something easy access. So it's ABE Professional and Prof Learn, but with the O and the ABE Prof Learn.
Is that
but instead
zero,
of O, we
is
put
it
a
a zero
0, and instead of E, we put a number 3.
So is that a 0 or?
That's a 0. So it's ABE Prof Learn, except substitute the O and the E. Okay? And I think it's because we used to have it just ABE Prof Learn, and then students somehow got into it. So, okay, next one. So I think we show this in our workshops. But basically, Karen's been really trying to put together these troubleshooting PowerPoints so that you can see, here's an example of a gel that kind of smeared, and why would that be a problem? Or, trying to go through the explanations of why certain things didn't work as well as they did. And so again, it's been really helpful to hear from teachers that some things didn't work, and so we could try to correct for that. Like for Orange County, for the mini ones, we didn't realize at first, the first model of mini ones, the blue light was not strong enough, so you couldn't see one of the small bands. And so we had to adjust and call the company up and say, change your light, and they did, and so now it's fine. Okay, Shahir, did you want to talk about this? Because I don't know this.
Yes, so this is just a few things before we take the break. This is the ABE volunteer program right here that I don't know if you're familiar with it. Okay, some people are nodding. And so it's put together through the program office to try to connect the teachers with the biotech professionals so that they can come as guest speakers. And even perhaps on a larger scale, like I'm thinking of your situation where you have multiple teachers teaching biotech in your school, you could even have multiple speakers come and create a panel discussion where they can represent multiple careers in biotech that are kind of unrelated, you know. So just so that there is something for everybody. And so they are working on the platform itself. So they asked me to remove, all of us, all directors, to remove the link on purpose. So that's why the link is not there, because they're trying to update the platform to make it more efficient and facilitate that process. So once the link is provided, actually they just emailed me yesterday, so they're almost done. So once they provide the link, we will share it with you in on email blast. So just keep that in mind. And then these are just some testimonials, you know, of teachers who used our program. And of course, there are also on the YouTube channel some videos of teachers speaking about that. Sorry, what happened here? Okay. And then we continue to grow the program, and this is where we would love to rely on your help in spreading the word. So you should have all received flyers about the upcoming fall PTIs. Yes, okay, so we have two. We have one in October at LA Trade Tech, and we have one at the beginning of December, very beginning of December, to avoid the holiday stretch. And that one is going to be at Pierce College. And I will try to organize another half-day or one-day workshop. I'll try to see where I can squeeze it in on biotech careers and maybe one of the other labs that teachers have requested. So we'll keep you posted. And we will continue offering workshops on in our other distribution areas, you know, in spring. So, so if you can please help us spread the word, that would be great. I think teachers can act as ambassadors, you know, if you had a good experience with the program, and especially if you have teachers who serve students in underserved, under-resourced communities, and also communities where students are underrepresented in STEM careers in particular, right? Because the two are, these two descriptions are not always the same population, right? And so please help us with that. We really appreciate it. And we're trying to post everything on our own social media and so on, so that we can reach more people, and we also have partnerships for that purpose. But I think teachers are great ambassadors. So, and I'll talk more about that later during my presentation. I want to just say congratulations to the winners of this year's raffle. So those are the teachers that won the raffle. Diana's here. Yeah, I was just going to say. Diana's here, and Diana, I met Diana in summer at my first professional development. Good for you, Diana. Congratulations. And so we, in order to incentivize teachers to fill out these two forms that Dr. Vu described and talked about, Form D and E, which are the surveys, we decided to raffle a $50 gift card to teachers who complete it. And then if you can find a way to incentivize your students to complete the student survey, Form E, there will be a $100 gift card for that. So I always, you know, I was a teacher for many years, as I said, so I know that you can use your leverage, right, to get students to complete Form E, whether you give them extra credit, give them chocolate, I don't know, find a way. Because that
per center, or is that per
center, yeah, per distribution center, yes, yes. And so, you know, as Professor Vu mentioned, there is a reason, there is a rationale behind this data collection purpose. We want to, you know, get your feedback, help us improve the curriculum, help with outreach, support grant funding, all these things. We also want to find out more about the impact of our curriculum on students' interest in actually pursuing biotech careers or even STEM careers. And so this is why we have all these questions. Ultimately, it's to help us serve you better and help us meet the goals that we set for ourselves as an organization, and also the goals that we set as part of the LA Promise Fund, which is the education management organization that we belong to. Okay. So, and by the way, I don't know if you know about the LA Promise Fund. You can look them up. They're mentioned somewhere on our website. You can look them up because they have a lot of other programs that can benefit your students. Please look them up. So basically, they specialize in offering what we call extracurricular education programs to empower students, so we can prepare them for college, for careers, and for life in general. So you can look up their other programs, and ABE-LA is one of their 6 programs. I believe it's 6 total, 5 maybe, I'm not sure. All right, so any questions? All right, so I think we'll stop here, right? And
yeah, and I just wanted to reiterate that what you do really makes a big difference.
Yes.
Kristen Cruz is here, and one of her previous high school students came to me when he was in high school even and joined our student Saturday workshops, and then eventually became a biotech student here, graduated, went on to UC Irvine, finished his bachelor's. During that time, from Fullerton to UCI, he had 3 different summer research institute internships, and then is now working as a lab technician and trying for his PhD. Kennedy Doyle, who's our lab assistant now for ABE, she was a student of Amy Welch, who some of you may know from Brea Linda. And so what you do really does make an impact, and Kennedy told me that she would not have gone into science except for Amy's encouragement. So I think what you all do really do matter, and so keep doing it well and keep at it. I hope you all keep that passion and enthusiasm. Okay, so we're going to take a little break, try to mingle with each other as we need to, and then maybe scope out the donations, but we won't do the donations until the very end, okay?
yeah. So we have a 10-minute break. If you could just please have you back by 9:55, that would be great. So we can finish on time and you have enough time to